Monster Laboratory here. Today I'm going to connect this 5-volt laser diode and a 16x2 LCD module to my Elegoo Mega 2560 microcontroller to create a lap counter for a Hot Wheels track. Let's get started. With this project, you can use this laser diode as a lap counter, an electronic turnstile, or a person counter. You can count the number of times people walk through a doorway, or an entrance, or a path. Now there are other applications for this as well, but today we're going to use this as a lap counter on a Hot Wheels track. Anytime I can get my kids' attention with electronics and circuits, it's going to be a good day. Now I previously made a video on how to connect an LCD module to Arduino using the 1602A LCD module and connecting it directly to the Elegoo Mega 2560 microcontroller. The A pin on the LCD module is a positive pin, and it's connected to the positive rail. All I did here was put a 220 ohm resistor between the positive rail and that A pin on your LCD module. Over here I have a photoresistor. Now one pin of the photoresistor is connected to my A0 analog, and that same pin is connected to the ground rail over here using a 10K resistor. Now the other pin of my photoresistor is connected to my pulse width modulation pin, digital pin 5, and it's connected to the positive rail. So after wiring my LCD module to my Elegoo Mega 2560 board, all I did was add a 220 ohm resistor, a 10K ohm resistor, a photoresistor, and then I added this separate breadboard with a 5-volt laser diode and a power supply so that I can operate it independently. So here we're taking a look at the code that you need to run the lap counter program, and the first thing you're going to see is include liquid crystal, and that just tells Arduino that we wish to use a liquid crystal library. Next you're going to see this liquid crystal library with pin numbers here, and this defines which pins of the Arduino are to be connected with which pins of your display. Then we come down here to setup, and you see that LCD begins 16.2. This first line here tells liquid crystal library how many columns and rows the display has. We have 16 columns and 2 rows in our LCD display. And this line displays the message that we see on the first line of the screen, which is lap counter. And then you see a cursor is going to be set as 0, 1. That is first column, second row. So if we come down here to the loop section, we see 2 different statements. And this right here basically says that if analog read A0 is less than 900, now this is going to read the analog pin A0. If that reading is lower than 900, nothing happens. Down here we see that if analog read A0 is greater than 900, then it says down here my counter plus plus. This just indicates that your value is going to increase by 1 in increments of 1. So we start at 0, and every time this statement occurs, it's going to increase by 1, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where you get your laps from. If you're unsure how to connect your LCD module to your Arduino, to your Mega 2560 board, I have a video on that I'll link in the description below. Or if you're brand new and you need help setting up your Arduino IDE altogether, I have a video for that, and I'll link it below as well. Here's my makeshift setup. I just went ahead and used some Legos. Actually came in pretty handy. And as you can see, the laser is pointed right here at the photoresistor. And you can't see the beam, but you can see what it's pointed at, the dot. And as you can see, as I'm running my finger through breaking the beam, it does change the number on the lap counter. So here I've tested it, everything works. Now it's time to take it out to the track. Well, here we are with the Mario Kart version of Hot Wheels, and it actually works pretty good. I'm surprised. It works better than I thought it would. Now, I could make this permanent, but I don't think that's necessary. But it is pretty neat. I think it's a neat little addition to a Hot Wheels track, which can get pretty boring. Now you can see the beam runs right across the track there, and it hits the photoresistor, and as that car comes through, it'll break the beam and it'll count as one lap. Now I do like to take what I learned with Arduino and put it into a practical use, and while this would be practical for some, perhaps not all. But as you can see, it just counts one car. I've had two cars, it would make no distinction, and you would see multiple laps, so that would be something else to figure out. But just for one car, this works pretty well. Well, that's all I've got for today. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you found a benefit to this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you again very soon.